All right, so you know you're here because you want to, like, cut through the noise and get straight to the good stuff, right?
Sure.
Understand the core of what matters.
Absolutely.
Without, like, drowning in a sea of details.
Exactly.
So that's what we're all about today.
Yeah.
We're going to deeply dive into Eddie Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
A true legend in F1.
Huge figure.
Huge figure and a real, entrepreneurial spirit, too.
Yeah. Maverick, I think, is a good word for Eddie Jordan.
Maverick, for sure. Recently passed away, sadly. So we're taking a look at his obituary today as our source.
Right.
And our mission really is to break down the core elements of his unique brand of success, not just on the track, but in the business world as well.
Yeah. Multifaceted individual.
Exactly.
For sure.
So we're going to explore kind of, the roots of it all.
Okay.
The beginnings, the story behind Jordan Grand Prix.
Yeah.
The legendary team.
That livery, just iconic.
Iconic. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
And his incredible ability to spot talent.
Yeah, he had an eye, didn't he?
Like nobody's business.
For sure.
Right. And then his ventures beyond F1.
Oh, yeah, branching out.
And just, the force of his personality.
Oh, yeah, larger than life, I think they say.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so jumping in.
Let's do it.
What struck me when I was reading about his journey was just how improbable it all seemed at first.
Yeah, you look at it, you think, how on earth did this guy end up being one of the, leading lights of Formula One?
I know, it's amazing.
Edmund Patrick Jordan, born in Dublin, 1948.
Pretty standard.
Starts out as a bank clerk,
Yeah, straight and narrow, right?
Seems like a very, straightforward trajectory.
Yeah.
And then bang.
Everything changes.
It really does. I mean, it's a predictable path.
Yeah.
Gets totally diverted by something.
Crazy, right?
Seemingly random as a banking strike.
I love that.
Finds himself in Jersey.
Yeah.
Gets a taste of karting.
Yeah.
That's it.
A passion is ignited.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's like one of those sliding doors moments, where one thing leads to another.
It makes you think about those random moments.
It does.
That can just change your life.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he gets into karting.
Yeah.
And he's clearly, talented.
Oh, yeah, natural aptitude.
Yeah.
And this real drive to compete.
So in 1971, he wins the Irish Kart Championship.
Which is not...
That's a big deal.
That shows a real kind of commitment. Dedication.
Skill. It's not messing about.
And then he goes from there to Formula Ford.
Yeah. Which is essentially, it's an entry-level category.
Right.
Single-seater racing gives aspiring drivers a taste of,
Yeah, the real deal.
The real deal.
Stepping stone.
Exactly. Yeah. And then Formula 3.
Yeah.
So he's really climbing that motorsport ladder.
Yeah, ambitious.
Very ambitious.
But then 1976.
Yeah.
Big setback.
Mallory Park.
Yeah.
Serious accident.
Shattered leg. Devastating, for any driver.
Oh, total career ending for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But this is where we see
resilience.
his adaptability.
Yeah. Amazing.
He doesn't let this define the end.
Yeah.
He recognizes a strength, a different strength.
Mm-hmm.
His ability to recognize and nurture talent.
Yeah, like he could see it in other people.
He could.
Even if maybe his own journey was cut short.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this pivot leads him to Eddie Jordan Racing.
1979.
Yeah.
That's right.
Incredible.
It speaks volumes about, his self-awareness and this entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, he doesn't dwell.
No.
He moves forward.
Looking for that open window.
Love it.
So Eddie Jordan Racing, built on relatively limited resources, but fueled by this boundless enthusiasm.
Which comes across, when you read about him.
Oh, yeah.
You can just tell.
Infectious.
Yeah. And the team really develops this reputation as like the place to be.
Yeah, if you were a young driver.
If you're young drivers.
Eddie Jordan Racing. That's where you wanted to be.
To hone your skills.
Yeah. Martin Brundle.
Right.
James Weaver.
Yeah.
Jean Alesi.
Big names.
Went on to achieve huge things in motorsport.
Yeah, it wasn't just about, winning races.
Yeah.
It was about developing.
It was about shaping the future of the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So then, Formula 3,
Mm-hmm.
Formula 3000, which is like...
Yeah, the step below.
The step below F1.
The proving ground.
Yeah, and again, it's not just about the victories. It's
It's about identifying.
Yeah.
Cultivating that top-tier talent.
He's building a reputation.
He is building a reputation.
Which leads to...
The big time.
F1 1991 Jordan Grand Prix.
Arrives on scene.
It's a huge moment.
Huge.
Particularly for an independent team.
Right.
Taking on these massive manufacturers.
Yeah, David versus Goliath.
Absolutely.
And that yellow livery.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on that yellow.
iconic, instantly recognizable, stood out from the crowd.
It just said something different.
Yeah, independent spirit.
Yeah.
Willingness to,
challenge the establishment.
challenge the status quo.
Yeah, and they brought personality.
Oh, yeah, buckets of it.
To what, sometimes could feel like a very corporate world.
A little bit sterile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So right away, he shows that ability to spot talent.
Michael Schumacher.
Gives him his debut.
First season.
At the Belgian Grand Prix.
I mean, even though Schumacher was quickly,
snapped up
by Benetton.
Yeah.
It was a statement.
It was a
bold statement.
Jordan could spot raw talent.
Yeah. He wasn't afraid to give these young drivers a chance.
Yeah, on the biggest stage.
Absolutely.
Hateable.
And it wasn't a one-off.
No.
Over the years, Jordan Grand Prix.
Launching pad
for so many successful drivers.
It's amazing.
It really speaks to his ability to see something special.
Yeah.
And give him that opportunity to shine.
Yeah, so, zooming out a bit.
Yeah.
He's not just a team owner.
Yeah.
He's shaping the landscape.
He's shaping the landscape of Formula One.
For years.
Yeah, for years to come.
And then we get to the late 90s.
The glory years.
Which is the team's, most successful period.
They go from underdogs to contenders.
Yeah, genuine contenders.
Yeah.
And that 1998 Belgian Grand Prix.
Come on.
1-2 finish.
Damon Hill.
Ralph
Schumacher.
Historic. The team's first F1 victory.
Yeah, you could just feel the energy.
Oh, yeah.
The belief.
Yeah, everyone was buzzing.
It was proof that Jordan's approach, his passion, it could deliver.
On the biggest stage.
At the highest level.
And then, 1999.
Arguably the peak.
Heinz-Harald Frentzen.
Yeah.
Not always,
Not always considered top tier.
Right, but then all of a sudden.
He's challenging for the championship.
Yeah, and he wins 2 races.
2 races.
Incredible.
It really solidified Jordan's reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Not just spotting talent.
Yeah.
But creating an environment where drivers could flourish.
Thrive
and surprise everybody.
But F1?
Yeah.
It's a demanding sport.
Hugely.
Financially.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a money pit. Escalating costs.
Development costs through the roof.
Sponsorships are crucial.
Absolutely.
And it's tough.
It's so tough to compete with those manufacturer-backed teams.
With their massive budget.
Absolutely.
So 2005.
Yeah.
Tough decision.
It is.
Sell the team.
The Midland Group.
Yeah.
The end of an era.
End of an era for Jordan Grand Prix.
A lot of people were sad to see it go.
I bet that independent spirit.
Yeah.
Gone from the grid.
But the story doesn't end there.
It doesn't.
Because that team, through various changes, becomes
from Aston Martin.
So
in a way, his legacy lives on in the sport.
Well, the foundations are still there.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. And he doesn't stop there.
He
goes on to broadcasting.
BBC Sport, Channel 4.
Popular pundit.
Oh, yeah.
Known for that.
Candid commentary.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah, he always had the inside scoop.
He did.
And he just brought that personality.
From the pit lane?
From the pit lane to the commentary box.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And he was a businessman, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Diverse interests. Property.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A shareholder in Celtic Football Club.
That's right.
And a patron of London Irish Rugby Football Club.
Yeah, a real passion for sports.
Yeah, across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then the philanthropy. Yeah. The work he did with CLIC Sargent.
A leading children's cancer charity.
Yeah.
Raising substantial funds.
Yeah.
For such an important cause.
It's that other side,
Yeah, it's
that people don't always see.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it seems like larger than life.
Larger than life figure.
Absolutely.
Extensive social circle.
Yeah.
Loved music.
Played drums in his band.
Eddie and the Robbers.
Come
on.
What a guy.
And homes in Cape
Town.
In
London, living the dream.
He was living the dream.
Yeah, he embraced life.
Yeah.
To the fullest.
He did, and survived by his wife, Marie.
Yeah.
And their 4 children.
4 children.
It's just a reminder that there's that personal side.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah.
So when you think about his legacy.
Yeah.
It's so much more than
just
race wins.
Race wins.
Yeah. He brought that independent spirit.
Yeah.
That drive to Formula One.
To a sport that could be.
Yeah, a little bit.
Very,
Yeah.
Corporate.
Buttoned up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was a maverick, a visionary.
A true original.
A true original.
Yeah, the obituary really nails it. with that description.
He lived a life of unconventional success.
Unconventional.
That's the word.
Yeah, and he proved
Yeah.
that passion, determination.
A touch of audacity.
Can help you overcome anything,
break down those barriers.
to achieve your goals.
Exactly.
It's inspiring.
It is.
So we've gone from bank clerk in Dublin
to Formula One legend.
to a true icon.
Yeah.
And it really shows,
what you can do.
his adaptability.
Oh, yeah.
His ability to, spot and nurture talent.
Yeah.
And that unwavering, commitment to his own unique spirit.
Absolutely. Unconventional success.
That's the theme.
That's what we're taking away.
And it makes you think,
it does.
about the different ways people can achieve their goals.
And leave a lasting impact.
Yeah.
His path wasn't straightforward.
Oh.
But his passion guided him to do great things.
So I have a question for you.
Listening to this, what seemingly unrelated experiences, or maybe even overlooked passions, do you have? That could be the key to something unexpected in your future.
Right.
Just like that banking strike.
Led him to motorsport.
Led Eddie Jordan to motorsport.
Yeah.
It makes you think about,
those chance encounters.
And the power of really pursuing your passions, no matter how unconventional they might seem.
You never know where they might lead you. That's it for today.
Thanks for listening.
See you next time.